Felix here, and welcome to this pre-morning live stream on a day where big tech is under attack. The Department of Justice wants to break up big tech companies, and the market is kind of going, really? That's a scary thought. Of course, a lot of other things going on as well, but overall, I actually think we have a silver lining case here that is significant and bullish and lovely. And I want to break that down for you, make sure you're the best informed investor out there, give you all the data points that Wall Street is peddling. Smash the like button, everybody there. And Ben, appreciate the thumbs down. Stream quality today, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's all I can promise, to be honest with you. So this is the big news. US weighs Google breakup in historic big tech antitrust case. The last time the US government broke up anything was AT&T. And I think we all know how that story went. It wasn't particularly good for the consumer, ultimately, was it? So let's go a little bit into that. I'll show you the pre-market, which is actually pretty decent. Google only down 1/3 of a percentage point. So the market not really believing the government, I would think here. Tesla down a touch, SOM's down a percentage point. That's about the only pain we've got, which is pretty decent, right? We have also today at 2 p.m. New York time, the Fed minutes out, and they are enveloped in a bunch of speeches from Fed presidents, lots of them today. So that's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, very interesting to see the Fed minutes and how that big cut came about. So definitely useful. Carlos, appreciate you. Thanks very much. Looking sharp. Well, you know, we got to try, right? Plus, we're up 94% today, which is not too bad for the year. If you want to learn how we do that, I'll be live in literally 12 hours to teach you our 3-step system. It's literally just 3 steps. And I'll teach you those 3 steps. You walk away with my rule book. It's completely free of charge. I think about 500, 600 of you have already signed up for that, which will be fun. So come and join me. Be on time. felixprehn.org/training in literally 12 hours. Now, there are a couple of things that have me feeling rather optimistically about the stock market in you know, our wealth progression here. We've got US lending, commercial and industrial lending, continues to go up and up and up and up. And this is data that starts in, a bit fuzzy, isn't it? Starts in June 2023. And it's been recovering very, very nicely. And that's a good thing, right? You want lots of lending so the economy grows and everybody's happy and builds more things. It's also the strongest year yet for the S&P. I'm just going to draw over that purple line there, which is what the S&P is this year. So this is 2024. And all the other lines below are the last 24 years. So we are doing very, very nicely. And you know what? Momentum is a big thing. I make money on momentum. I trade momentum. So I appreciate that if we are on a good momentum streak, it's likely to actually continue. And the NASDAQ, seasonally, we are here, as the French say. And that would therefore mean we should go up another, 6% by the end, which is serious. And boatloads of flooding across basically all of Central Florida there, which is definitely not a good thing. So I had lunch today with an American friend of mine, and I asked him, why is it that everything always blows away in the US when they have these hurricanes every year? And he said it's kind of weird. I don't really understand why, you know, you don't put the power lines in the ground, or why you don't build houses out of concrete. And I don't really understand it, to be honest with you. Florida is a pretty wealthy state by and large. So I'm not really quite sure what the theory is there, but maybe I don't really understand it. Anybody understand it? If you're American, let me know. Why does Florida not build for hurricanes? I mean, you can't build for hurricanes, right? We get them here. And not a lot happens, to be honest with you, because everything is built from concrete and all the power lines and stuff are dug into the ground. So not a great deal really happens. But yeah, no, not intending to criticize Florida, just sort of wondering why you send $100 billion to the Ukraine when you could maybe build some infrastructure there, right? American friend, yes, yeah. I have one, the token one. House made of paper is cheaper. Is that really it, though? I mean, if you have to rebuild it every year, I mean, it doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, all you got to do really is just put in concrete walls, and at least that way the main structure doesn't blow away, and maybe you use a few roof tiles or so on. But it's peculiar that houses are made out of wood in a hurricane zone. I don't really get it. I get it if there is, it's an impoverished area and so on. I sort of get that, but a lot of Florida isn't, right? So, it's kind of weird. And then, yeah, the insurance doesn't work and all that kind of says, Felix, don't talk common sense. So we wouldn't want that now, would we? Okay, swipe away. Okay, your new houses are being built hurricane-proof. Well, that makes some sense. And you're a lineman. Okay, how do they build power lines above ground for hurricanes? Are they all like reinforced kind of stainless steel type things, or what is it all about? It seems weird. It seems a little odd to me that all this gets blown away every year. But anyway, we digress, don't we? We had some good news here that we are, at least historic basis, we should see a very nice finish to the year here, which is what I'm looking forward to. And we're hoping to get, therefore, over 100% up this year, right? 94% this so far. We can't rest on our laurels yet, can we? But seriously, come and join me in 12 hours at 9 p.m. Eastern time, if you're not being blown away. I hope you're not. At felixfrenzelog.com/training, and I'll teach you how we manage this little feat. I don't promise you there's outcomes. Obviously, they'll be silly. But I promise to teach you my rules and my structure and walk you through an actual trade and so on. Now, there is more reason to be bullish. The Atlanta Fed puts out GDP estimates, and they are very bullish. They came in just yesterday at 3.2%, which is an upwards move. So the economy seems reasonably strong, largely because the government's spending boatloads of money, but it doesn't really matter where the money comes from for us investors. So strong economy, right? That's really, really what we want, isn't it? It's not what we want. And then look at this. This is probably the chart of all charts, and it's a little fuzzy. But what's the white line? The white line is the trailing. So the last 12 months, trailing is a stupid word, isn't it? It's basically the earnings per share of the S&P 500. And the forecast is this little dotted line here, that one. That's the forecast. So you can see how historically this chart starts in 1989. This was 2007. This was 2019. You can see that there is this monstrous rally expected. Why is everybody going to get more profitable? There's the answer. AI. I was going to write ET, so sort of same thing. Why? It'll just make it easier to grow. It'll make it cheaper to do pretty much everything. And if you're not using AI, please go and learn. Just go into use the AI and ask it, how do I use you? And it'll tell you, because it's insanely useful. Like I would say my productivity is probably double what it was a year ago, just output wise. It's incredible what you can get done. So the white line is Felix's trading account, something like that. Well, we don't look actually that far off, do we? It's quite a nice comparison. There we go. That's the green line. That's our trading account. Just not too bad, right? So, but yeah, look, if this pans out, then all you got to do is own shares, and you should do very, very well. Do you still see a pullback? I think it's still possible. I think we're going to be choppy till the 5th. And the other thing, of course, is there is the Israel situation. Whereas the Israeli defense minister was meant to be in the US right now, and Netanyahu said, don't go. And that's not an impression. I was just, shouting generally. And probably because, well, he's going to talk to Biden first, which is a weird person to talk to, really. I mean, isn't it concerning that the one person that Netanyahu consults on where he's hitting Iran is President Biden? I think it's concerning, but hopefully there are some people on that call who actually are, conscious. So That's, of course, an issue to see what's going to happen there. That could cause some serious volatility. It could push oil prices up. And if you look at oil prices right now, they are pretty calm, which is good. But what is oil? Hang on. What have we got here? Futures. Oil futures. Yeah. All right. They're at 72. We were at 76 2 days ago. Pretty moderate stuff, right? But you hit Iran's oil installations, and I think you're back up here. You're back in the 100 plus, 100, 110, 120. That's sort of what the market expects. So this could be a big one. And what would that do? Well, it would cause inflation, and the Fed can't cut interest rates and all, in all that sort of malarkey. So it could be a big one. He's talking with the CIA, not Biden. I very much hope so. Start what, Christian? Who's going to start what? You think Palantir is like the next NVIDIA? A bit of an apples and oranges comparison, I would argue, but very nice rally, of course, that we saw there and continue to see. I mean, they're not a hardware player, right? So they obviously, there are elements to that. I always think it's more like the Microsoft play because it's more an ERP kind of software, like, running enterprise, trading at $41.50, which is extraordinary here. If you go on the advanced chart here in trading, Trade Vision rather, which I encourage you to play around with, there is the link, Trade Vision. So our little AI called that buy down here at $26, which is a pretty good call. Even Tallulah was excited about that, wasn't he? Did you make that call, Tallulah? There's Tallulah. Tallulah, did you make that Palantir call? Did you put that trade on? Did you? I think she probably did. So looks pretty beautiful. And where's the resistance? Well, 42. Right. So we're just below it, slightly up, but basically flat pre-market. And then if we go into next week, a lot of the market's still positioned down here, but it's going to creep up. You can start to see creeping up to 45. You go out into end of October, it moves up to 44 and 45. So that's kind of what we're gunning for now, honestly. It's $45, which is pretty cool. How often does the new trends tab update information? This here, twice a day, midday and end of day. So that's what we're looking at here. So for NVIDIA, for example, it did a buy signal here last night. And I sort of agree with that. It's taken out these highs here. There's still a little bit of that resistance here at 134, 135. But given where we're trading right now, 134, that actually looks pretty good. So that kind of makes sense. Not telling you to buy it, obviously, but that's the only big stock yesterday that we thought, well, the AI thought should be a buy. What's the next Palantir? There is always this thing. Oh, I missed NVIDIA. Let me find the next NVIDIA. The next NVIDIA is typically NVIDIA. The next Microsoft is usually Microsoft, and the next Palantir is usually Palantir. Amazing companies don't come along all that often. So to chase the second player, I think, can be an expensive thing to do. I'm just saying. Can we get a watch list tab, Rick? Yes, that is, I believe, in progress. So you'll be able to set your own watch list. We have a screener tab here, right? And you could then you can create watch lists, right? So I have a bunch of watch lists up here. So you can just select the colors here of things and add them to your watch list. So the idea would be that one of those watch lists you would then be able to get alerts on. Definitely something the guys are working on to make this more like personal to you, right? Although, in a way, I quite like it that I get like these random notifications and I'm like, really? I don't know. ADP is a buy yesterday. It's interesting. I actually really like ADP stock. See, nice breakout. Probably would have missed that because it's not something I look at very often, but actually that looks quite promising. Or, you get sort of random stuff in the inbox, which I think is always a good thing. But obviously, I want you to be able to customize it. Sam, I don't understand your question. Do explain. Sofi, we can definitely have a look at Sofi. I'll do my best to answer your questions. And I mean, holding Sofi the last year and a half has been minus 55%, right? Pretty horrible stuff. But since then, we've just gone sideways. We've called a few trades, not many, just a few, which got us up 40%. So we're doing about 95% better than buy and hold, which is not too bad. Are we calling it a buy? No. From a trading point of view, no. From a long-term investing point of view, that's always different. So, I am long Sofi. But basically, it's just gone nowhere since June 2023. And as I sometimes mention, I like that. Right? I like the pain. No, I like, because everybody who's bought here and there and previously has probably left the building by now. The people who bought up here have given up and they've sold. And that's exactly what you want. You need all the sellers to be out of the stock. Shake them out. And that's what allows you to eventually rally. So it's long sideways action is actually very, very welcome. Andrew, PayPal is a Sofi 1 year hold. Where would you put your money? Can I do half? Different place. Look, Sofi is a much younger beast. PayPal is a much bigger beast. I think PayPal is, okay, if I had to do it today, on today's data, I would do PayPal. And it's obviously not financial advice. Why? Just because the trajectory here is much, much more bullish, right? Look, we called that buy here at $66 and we're going up and up and up. And I think, yeah, a bit of resistance here still at sort of the 100 mark, but I think the market more clearly now expects a rally. I think whereas with Sofi, they're still trying to figure things out. Now this cat is still there. Can you see that? This here? Yes, this is a problem and it's on your mouse pad. And lost to be okay. I agree with you. Noto has as a massive reason to hit $35 price target. So yeah, very, very motivated CEO over there. I totally get that. Ben, do you want European stock exchanges? We need a lot more European users, to be honest with you, because the cost of the data is very significant monthly. And at the moment, we don't have enough European users. You could obviously change that. You just refer it. There's a referral link as well, and you actually get paid for that too. So that's really why. But we'll follow the crowd. So if the crowd in Europe gets big enough, then we're very happy to add European stocks. Andrew, you've been juggling both. Okay. Nick sold Shop at 72. Let me have a look. I like Shop. I mean, not the cheapest stock in the world, but I think they're doing something rather right. And where did you sell? You got frustrated somewhere, and now it's recovering, which is always what people do, isn't it? They sell when it's down, and then they get frustrated and they buy it on the rally, which is a very dangerous thing to do. I wouldn't say it's screaming. Well, what's the resistance? Not a lot. It's done quite. Let's have a look on a slightly more advanced chart here. And obviously, this is not financial advice there. I don't know your situation and so on. But with our little trades, we've beaten the misery that's been holding Shop. You'd be down 50%. We've done plus 10. So 60% better than the market. I put in the 50-day moving average line. We're above that. That's quite positive, right? Nice. The real breakout was here. You get that retest. You almost always get that. And now we're higher in hiring. Moving averages are, we're all above everything here, basically. So it looks pretty good. It looks pretty bullish to me, I must say. It's a little bit here. You see these highs, those ones, they're a little bit still holding us back, but it shouldn't be too much of a bother, to be honest with you. So from a pure chart momentum point of view, this actually looks pretty good. Let's try that again. Okay, we're back. I don't know what that is, to be honest. It's something really frustrating with my Wi-Fi. Really rather irritating. Anyway, we'll have to deal with it. If any of you guys are tech people, my pings come in at about 250. Tesla events are not great for the stock price. I really care with you, to be honest with you. This is one of those where I actually have a fundamental opinion, which I don't often have. And I haven't got space in my head for many fundamental opinions, but this is one where I actually think these guys will wipe the floor with pretty much everything, anything in the next couple of years. But you need time. Wives are frustrating. Where did that come from? I reset the router. I reset the modem. I haven't got a cable. But I don't know if that's it. There is literally 3 feet between the massive router and my PC and nothing else in the way. It's always worked. I think it's probably something. I don't know where it is. I've also done the whole IP config reset and all that stuff, all the command prompt things. That hasn't made any difference. So there's something funky going on here where we lose for like 30 seconds or so. We lose data and then it comes back. Very, very weird. So sometimes volume is greater than the open interest. Volume greater than the open interest would seem unusual to me. Oh, here's one. Well, I guess volume is in and out and not open positions, right? It's not necessarily open. So you could have a lot of trading, but less open positions. I guess that would be the logical conclusion. Lots of opening and closing. Time trading is literally the links down below. Buy some options so you can buy a cable. You mean I should close some positions so I can afford the $12 on a cable or something? I think we'll just manage that, just about. Set one of the cats to work for a day or something. You think Trade Vision takes too much juice to run? No, I don't think so. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's something weird with our internet connection here for some reason. We'll figure it out. Big news, of course, today. The US weighs a Google breakup. I doubt they'll manage it. I think the market is also going, we don't believe you. We're only down 0.4% here pre-market on Google. Everything else looks pretty good. Of course, the big thing to watch is the hurricane about to hit Florida. There it is. So it looks pretty, you've seen it? It's sort of a thing of beauty, really, isn't it? But anyone in Cancun, probably not a good place to be right now. And it's going to basically sort of hit that Tampa area there, which is where I haven't been there in about 20 years. I hope everyone's all right. Lots of money in cat houses. What trading platform do you recommend, Jose? It depends on where you are. If you are in the US, Jose, I would use Thinkorswim. If you're anywhere else in the world, Interactive Brokers, Webull, if it works for you. Ultimately, brokers all do the same thing. It's not really that important which one you use. I mean, I use Thinkorswim mostly. I also trade a bit on Webull, but they're both reasonably easy to use, which is really what I require because, simple mind and all of that. Moo, some people are saying just Drew's great. I can't really say. I installed the app once. I thought it was very messy, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's, of course, the most important thing. So there we are, my friends. Come and join us literally in 12 hours. Come and learn how we're up 94% so far this year. And I'll break that down for beginners. You don't need to know a thing at felixfriends.org/training. And Caterpillar, says Drew. Oh, you mean the stock? All right, we'll do a couple of more quick stock looks at CAT. Wasn't that flying yesterday? I thought it was. No, not so much. Huh? Didn't really do anything yesterday. Anything positive, at least. I think that line I drew here would be like what I would do. So if I'd gotten in on this, when one should have done, I don't know, somewhere probably here, when you had lots of volume and you broke through the 50-day moving average line and you managed to hold through the patches and you enjoyed the gaps up and so on, then what I would look at, stocks move in phases. This is a consolidation phase. Don't let it deconsolidate and take your money with you. That's what I would look at. So I would set a stop loss slightly below these lows here, just a little bit below it, somewhere like that. And then I would just forget about it. That's basically what I would do. Ding, ding, ding. Markets open. Okay, let's have a quick glance then at that. So the things that matter. NVIDIA is up 0.7%. Let me have a look on the minute chart here. Looking pretty good. Tesla is flat. Nice jump there. It was down pre-market. Google, which is under breakup investigation by the Department of Justice. It's down only 0.4%. So the market not really believing the Department of Justice might. Microsoft is flat. Anything else? Oil stocks? What about XOM? XOM is down another percentage point. Not enough going on in the Middle East, apparently, to excite oil majors. Do you have some nice cloud companies to buy? I mean, I made a video today on the top 9 cloud stock companies, stocks. So if you want to dive into that, seriously, subscribe. You'll get a notification in about a day or so, and you will see what I have to say on that one. Peter Meyer, you're in Hamburg, my friend. Interesting. Well, say hi to the lake. I used to row on that as a child. CCL. What's CCL? Oh, Carnival Corporation. Ooh, wow, 3% up. What's going on there? Oh, very nice rally. Yeah, very nice breakout here. You see how it takes out these previous highs? If I draw a little line, numbers seem to be fuzzy, to put it most politely, and therefore I'd be a little bit cautious on that one. John, thanks very much. Appreciate you. Come and join us in literally 12 hours live. Tallulah will be running a live seminar where she will teach you how to make boatloads of money in the market as a kitten. That's really the premise. felixfriends.org/training, and Tallulah and I say thank you very much for tuning in.